Oh my goodness. I framed this. Okay, alright. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I was like, I had this perfectly framed in camera, and oops, and I'm sorry, it's on a thing. Oh gosh. Okay. And then as soon as I put it on video, it zooms in on my face, and I can't zoom out. Okay, that's gonna do. So, anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video. I went to fireworks last night. It was the 4th of July fireworks. It was the first time that I have taken my son to a fireworks show because of his autism. I didn't know how he'd react. And it was dark because we got in there right as the sun was setting, and we set up a place, and he was in his stroller, and there was a lot of people there, like hundreds of people there. So it's an odd experience because there's lighting. Okay, it's kind of hard to explain. It's a park that's in the woods, but it overlooks a baseball field, and there's all this lighting in the baseball field because that's where they're setting off the fireworks. But there's no lighting up where we're sitting, up in the wooded area. So everybody is like, not backlit, but front lit, because they're all facing. So all you really see is a light illuminating silhouettes of the back of people's heads. And yeah, I was just sitting there waiting. We got there like 30 minutes early or something, and Lincoln was on my phone looking at stuff, and he got up out of his stroller. Now, I didn't have him strapped in because usually if I have him strapped in, he's more aware that he's strapped in and he wants out. So if I don't strap him in, he's just content to sit there. I don't know, and this is the thing with autism, like, you don't know what pulls them away. But the difference between him and a normal neurotypical 5-year-old child is they have a sense to be aware of where their parents are. That, you know, as long as they have visuals on their parents, they're safe. But he doesn't have that understanding, so he just gets up and walks away. He never looks back. And he has eloped from our house twice. This has affected me in ways that I have nightmares. If I hear people honking outside my window, I'm afraid he's outside. If I don't see him, like, a lot of times he likes to play in his room alone. So if an hour goes by and I haven't heard him, I'll go look out the back window to see if the cops are in my driveway, and then I'll go down and check on him to make sure he's in the house. Because if the 2 times he's gotten outside, he doesn't stay in the yard. He just wanders off. And the one time, and honestly, I shouldn't even say 2 times. He's been out many times. At least 6 times. It was only 2 times that the police got involved, because he was out so long and we didn't realize he was out. The cops were called. And honestly, this is the one blessing of being in a city area, because if we were in the country, he could just go fall into a river. I went to my brother's last weekend, and they had a swimming pool, and I took him in the pool because lately he won't take showers. He's developed this aversion to water, so I thought maybe getting him in the pool would help him to be more comfortable. It ended horribly, but for a while there, he was on a swimmy. They had like a float And he was on this float, and I was in the pool with him, and he leaned over the float, leaned over to look at the water, and he just, like, he leaned over and he just fell in. And he's probably about 4 foot tall. And this is an above ground pool. Like, if he were a normal 5-year-old in that situation, I think they would have the sense to, like, kick off the ground, the base of the pool, and come up. And he was right along the wall of the edge of the pool. If he had just kicked off the ground and came up, he could have grabbed onto the edge and pulled himself out. But he didn't even try. He didn't even flap his arms or kick or anything. He just cannonball, like, sunk, unmoving, just sunk to the bottom of the pool. And this all happened rather quickly. I don't want you to be alarmed. As soon as he fell, I immediately ran to him as fast as you can in a pool, slow motion, running over, but I ran over and pulled him out. So the whole thing took maybe 3 to 5 seconds. And he swallowed some water. I know he did, because he was, like, clearing his throat and raking his fingers on his tongue because he didn't like the way it tasted. And but I don't think he got it up his nose or anything, because he recovered rather quickly, and he didn't cough any water out, so I don't think he breathed any in. But the point is, in those few seconds before I pulled him out, it just really amazed me how little he reacted. Like, if I wasn't there, or if I wasn't as responsive, he'd be dead. Like, he made no effort to save himself. And that's kind of the case with he just walks away, So the 2 times the cops were called, so we have our property, and then there's an alley behind us that is a dead end, and it's the back end of the houses of the street above, and that street is where he ended up. So he went through someone's backyard, through their home, to get up onto the street. And he was walking the street. He had no pants on. He was in a diaper and a t-shirt, no shoes, and he was holding a phone, listening to music, nursery rhymes. And he ended up on somebody's swing on their porch. The second time the cops actually brought him back to the house, I don't know where they found him. And those 2 times happened really close together. It was scary, because I think they were like 2 weeks apart from each other, that he ended up getting out, and I didn't know it. And after the second time, it was the same police officer, thank God. But the second time he brought him back, he was not as forgiving as the first time. He's like, what is going on? You have to come up with some plan, because he's like, you're lucky it was me and not another cop who didn't know where he belonged. And his main concern was that both times that Lincoln got out, he had a phone in his hand, but there was no information on the phone and no information on him. So I respect the fact that the police were not like, they understood that he is an elopement risk. They understood that he has autism. They understand that, he's gonna try to get out. I mean, he still tries to get out, but we've got the house on lockdown, so he can't anymore. I haven't had him elope, except yesterday, in quite a while. And I respect that the cops were not coming down on me about that. It was more just like, I should have had something on him to identify him. And people have mentioned GPS tracking, the air tags. I don't have an Apple product. I don't have an Apple phone to do the air tags. They might have other GPS type systems for autism. I just don't think he'd wear any of them or let them stay on his body. Um, I don't know. I maybe could put it in his shoe or something that he'd keep it on. But a lot of times, both times that he got out, he didn't have shoes on. Because as soon as he comes home from any type of activity, like going to the grocery store or something, he takes his shoes off. So I don't know. And like if I'm at home, I'm not really thinking about, oh, I have to make sure he's wearing his air tag, because I'm not thinking, oh, he's going to run away from home. I just don't see it being a feasible option. But anyway, we've been very vigilant about him not getting away from us. And the same thing kind of occurred at the fireworks. You know, right away we saw he was eloping, and my daughter went and collected him and brought him back. But my whole thought is like, it's the middle of the night. You can hardly see. We're surrounded by people. It was sweltering hot. And he just gets up and starts walking. And I'm thinking, where did he want to go? You know, what drew him in? He had his phone in his hand, yet again. And, I mean, the phone thing is... everything that he's ever learned, he's taught himself by watching videos on YouTube. Emotions. I mean, even like simple things like, you know, shapes, numbers, letters, colors. He's learned all of that on YouTube. I could try to teach him, but his engagement with the outside world is very minimal. So he's kind of teaching himself everything he knows. And he really rarely looks to other people to help him solve his problems. And he just tries to solve them all on his own, which can get very frustrating. Like with dirty diapers and stuff. But I just don't know what compels them, autistic kids, I mean, to just get up and walk away like that. And not look back. Not think, oh, where's my mom? And I almost wanted to just follow him to see what he was doing. To see if he ever did look back. To see if he... I don't know if he would care if he did not know where we were. But I don't think it dawns on his mind that he is in constant risk of potentially being separated from us in a very lasting way. You know what I mean? Like, if he got lost and did not know where we were, nobody could ascertain any information from him to locate us. Like, if we did not look for him, he would not be able to be returned to us, because he cannot say even what his name is, first and last name. Even sometimes he'll say his first name. If I'm saying his name, he'll repeat it. But if you ask him, what's your name? He's not going to answer. He doesn't know his address. He doesn't have an understanding of, like, names in the phone to say, you know, the last time when the cops found him, they were just calling everybody in the phone. They called my ex-husband and my mother-in-law, and all these people were trying to reach us, and we didn't even know. I mean, it was such a bad situation. That was when I got yelled at by the cop, when they couldn't get a hold of anybody. And but I think this is because today then I'm on a autism support group, and they posted a news headline about a 7-year-old girl being found in a body of water that she had gotten out, and they were on a search for her, and they couldn't find the same situation. She had autism. She got out of the house at night. They didn't know she was gone until it was too late. She went to a body of water, fell in, sunk like a stinking stone, because they don't even try to flap. I mean, maybe it's just my son, but that really alarmed me, how little effort he made to try to save himself when he was underwater. There was no panic. It was just so, and it's strange because he's brilliant in the strangest ways. He's very smart in ways that are not going to help him get by in life. And I just hope that he can fill in the pieces as he comes along, because otherwise I don't know what he's going to do. But this girl died, and every single parent, like, I skimmed the comments a little bit, every single one has just said that this is my worst nightmare. And I really think it is for mothers of severely autistic kids. That elopement is real and scary, because it's like your house cat or dog has a better chance of finding their way home than my son. He would have no idea how to get back. So anyway, he's safe. We didn't let him wander off, and he sat through 70% of the fireworks before he got sick of it. So he tolerated all the booms and everything. He never did have an issue with noise. He doesn't like a lot of bustle, like a lot of people around, but he was in his stroller, so that was kind of his safe bubble, so he didn't mind as much. But anyway, have a good weekend. I work the rest of the week, so screw my life, but you all have a good weekend, and catch you next time. Bye.